Hey everyone, welcome back to Shade Review. In today's video, we are going to be taking a look at the brand new $368 Ray-Ban Larry sunglasses and see if they're worth the money or not. But first, I'll thank today's video sponsor, our own website, shadereviewstore.com, the absolute best place to buy designer sunglasses, up to 80% off the original MSRP. Again, our website there is shadereviewstore.com. Check it out. So let's go ahead and pop these sunglasses on face and talk about the dimensions. These have 51mm lenses and then a 21mm bridge, and this is the medium or standard size of these sunglasses. Ray-Ban also does produce these in a smaller lens size, which has 49mm lenses and the same 21mm bridge. Personally, I kind of do like the standard size for my face with their round lenses and these acetate frames. Now, the first and most important thing about these sunglasses is actually the price here. These frames with non-polarized lenses cost $303, which is absolutely crazy. And when I first saw these on Ray-Ban's website, I was actually a little confused. I thought it was a typo. I didn't think the price was actually that high because there was no information provided at all, which began to even justify the extremely high price tag of these frames. These frames look very similar to the Italian-made Ray-Ban RB2180 frames that I reviewed, years and years and years ago. A very popular and good-looking pair of Ray-Ban frames. These Larry look very, very similar to those sunglasses. The RB2180 only come in at $160 MSRP. So why are these frames $140 more expensive than those? Again, Ray-Ban doesn't let you know at all until you buy them and they come in the mail, and then you find out. So let me go ahead and first show you the packaging that these frames ship with. And here we can see it is basically Ray-Ban's Japanese titanium packaging. Now, of course, these frames are made out of an acetate material, not titanium, but it's the titanium packaging. So we can see it says Larry right here, and then I assume this is Japanese text for Larry as well. Again, I could be wrong, or maybe it's a made in Japan logo. I don't know. If I have any Japanese viewers, actually probably anybody with Google Translate, take a look at that and let me know in the comment section down below. But basically, this means that these frames are made in Japan. And sure enough, if we look at the tag here, it does say they're made in Japan. And if we take a look at the inner right temple of the frames, they say Ray-Ban made in Japan and then polarized there, and is not painted on the frame. It is actually etched into the frame, and it looks really, really good. And because these frames are somewhat transparent with these absolutely beautiful, beautiful polished striped Havana acetate colorway here, it's actually really nice that they are not painted, and the fact that they're etched, because there's not going to be any bleed through the somewhat transparent, or semi-transparent I should say, frame there. So I really, really do like that, and I think Ray-Ban should do that on a lot more of their frames. Now, most people who are not heavily involved in the eyewear industry really, assume that Japan is close to China, and because of that, they might be cheap, and that is just simply not the case when it comes to acetate sunglasses. Japan makes some of the absolute best acetate frames in the world, probably the best acetate in the frames in the world. Now, of course, there's several different facilities and factories that make these frames, so just because it's made in a certain location does not mean it's going to automatically be better than, somewhere in America or somewhere in China or somewhere in Italy. Obviously, that is not the case, but as a general rule of thumb, if it's a pair of eyewear and it's made in Japan, it's going to be made by an expert craftsmanship, and it's going to be really, really high quality. And with these frames, that is certainly the case. Now, I'm not sure what facility Luxottica is having their Ray-Ban frames made in Japan in, but I assume it's the exact same facility that makes acetate Oliver Peoples frames. And you guys know I absolutely love a beautiful pair of Oliver Peoples acetate frame sunglasses that are made in Japan. Luxottica's facility in Japan is absolutely incredible, and I basically like every single thing that comes out of them. Very, very impressed. And again, these do not disappoint. The build quality here is absolutely incredible. Just a beautiful, beautiful pair of acetate frames, just completely seamless and a beautiful polish here. We have the keyhole style bridge on the frame right there as well. If we take a look at the top right corner of the frames, we can see a little Ray-Ban logo with a P. The P, of course, stands for polarized, because this particular pair does have polarized brown lenses. Then we can also see a little etched RB logo here in the middle left of the lens. Now, one thing I think they could do to really set these frames off is they could have actually etched Ray-Ban on the lens rather than then painting it on there. I think that would be really, really classy and nice, considering the fact that the frames are etched with all the information there. That would have been really, really cool, but they didn't do it. And again, it's actually really easy to remove this logo if you want to remove it, so not a huge deal there. If we take a look here at the outside tip of the frames, we can see the raised Ray-Ban logo, and we can also see a metal stem that runs all the way down to the ear-rest. That allows you to heat up these frames and give them a custom fit to the face, which is really important. Then we can also see the little accents here, the metal accents here on the top of the frames. And that's not just there for show, that is actually what connect to the very premium 5-barrel all-metal hinge. And we can actually see it does say Ray-Ban on the hinge. Now, I've never actually seen this hinge before, so I think it's a brand new hinge for Ray-Ban, and it feels great. It feels really, really good. I'm thinking that this hinge is actually made in Japan as well, and it just feels incredible. Definitely one of the best hinges that I've ever felt on a pair of Ray-Ban sunglasses. Just absolutely incredible. It's hard to kind of convey how good it feels over camera, of course, other than just saying it feels great. Really, really, really do like that a lot here. And again, the way the acetate is cut, the color of the acetate, and then the polishing of the acetate here as well is just really, really nice and just very, very special. And these frames are so much better than the original RB 2180 that I reviewed in a previous video. Those are made in Italy, and they're not bad build quality. These are just so much better, and that's of course going to be reflected in the price. These frames with non-polarized lenses cost $140 more than the RB 2180. So they should be a lot better build quality, and they certainly are, and they certainly disappoint. The weirdest thing about all this is the fact that Ray-Ban does not explain why these sunglasses cost this much money. They don't say that they're made in Japan on the website. They don't talk about the build quality. They don't talk about anything other than just pretending that's a normal pair of sunglasses, but the price tag is considerably higher than all the other sunglasses on their website. Or I should say almost all the other sunglasses on the website. Those Japanese titanium frames are definitely more expensive than these. Yeah, super weird that they're not explaining why they're that expensive, because if I'm just browsing these and I don't know any better, why am I gonna buy these over the 2180s? I'm not. They look the exact same. So if I don't have anything to go off other than, you know, some literature online, or maybe this review, of course, you know, that explain why potentially they might be worth that much more money. So, as far as the lenses go, these are all glass lenses, and the optical clarity of these is very good. These are Ray-Ban's Chromance lenses, which are their most advanced lenses. They have color enhancing, contrast enhancing, and clarity enhancing lenses, which are going to be really great. These lenses really just make the outdoors pop, and they have polarized lenses, so they're going to block the vast majority of all glare, 99.9% as well, which is really nice. And then the B15 lens is going to really help increase the colors and the contrast as well from the base, never mind all the Chromance, you know, goodness as well. And they do have a very nice anti-reflective material here on the backside of the lenses as well. So basically Ray-Ban's most advanced lens these frames get, which is really nice, and it's all glass, so it's going to have very good scratch resistance. Now, as far as coverage from the sun goes, because these frames have round lenses, they're of course not going to offer the best coverage from the sun. So here up top, there's a huge gap that lets sunlight in unprotected, like a really big one. And then here on the sides again, there's a massive gap that does let sunlight in unprotected. So overall, not very good coverage from sun, but they do have a very nice anti-reflective material here on the back side of the lenses, which does help reduce sunlight coming in, bouncing off the lens at an angle, which is really important if you have a pair of frames that like this that have bad coverage from the sun. Now, as far as weight goes, these frames are definitely on the heavier side, coming in at 41 grams. So if you wear these frames for a really long period of time, you might feel a little bit of discomfort. They have a really good balance and fit to them right out of the box for me. So I could definitely wear these frames for hours without too much discomfort, but again, they are 41 grams, so very similar to a pair of original Ray-Ban Wayfarers, for example. Now, with this pair of frames, which I do love, I really hope that Ray-Ban makes an original Ray-Ban Wayfarer made in Japan. That would be absolutely incredible. I'd go crazy over that, and I hope it happens soon. That would really make me happy, because these frames are significantly better than the RB 2180 that are made in Italy. So that'd be really special to get a pair of original Ray-Ban Wayfarers made in Japan as well. And honestly, if Ray-Ban were to make the original Ray-Ban Wayfarer in Japan with the same manufacturer or same facility that made these, it would probably be the best pair of Ray-Ban Wayfarer frames ever. Even better than the Bausch & Lomb Wayfarers. I'm serious. That's how good these frames are. And that's how good the Wayfarer ones would be as well. So I'm super excited to see what Ray-Ban is doing with these ultra high-end and premium frames. But it's a shame that Ray-Ban isn't marketing these frames and explaining why these frames are better. People just have no idea. So I imagine these frames are going to be relatively a sales flop, because who's spending an extra $140 on a pair of frames that is a different name and looks basically identical to the RB2180? It doesn't make sense. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Maybe this is just an experiment to see what people are saying about them, but you know, just really, really nice. Again, its own case. Hope it's upside down. It comes with its own box, you know, hard box and everything like that with the Japanese text. They're not afraid to say that these frames are made in Japan, which is great. And I really, really do like these. Now, as far as pricing goes, like I said, with a pair of polarized lenses, the exact pair that I have right now costs $368. And that's expensive. That's really expensive. That brings you into like the Oliver Peoples kind of category as far as pricing goes. So they are definitely not a cheap pair of frames. And are they worth it? Yes, if you're a sunglass enthusiast and you really appreciate the fine detail and the quality of frames, then they would definitely be worth that extra money. $140 extra than the Italian made ones. But I think for the average person, they probably don't care too much. Again, my viewers probably care a lot more about quality than the average person do. So for as far as speaking to my viewers go, you guys definitely might appreciate these and think they're worth the extra money. Versus a pair of Italian made ones. There's no squeaking or creaking. There's just nothing at all. They are just absolutely perfect, and there's nothing I could do to improve these. They're perfectly adjusted right out of the box. And yeah, just this is how a pair of acetate frames really should be, and you're gonna pay a decent price for it. So do I recommend these? Yes, I give these frames a 2 thumbs up. I absolutely love these, and of course I don't love the price because they're expensive. But they're still cheaper than, you know, Oliver Peoples frames as well, and a lot of other high-end brands that make their frames in Japan as well. So these are kind of your bargain made in Japan acetate frames, and these frames are basically in their own category over any other pair of Ray-Ban frames. Honestly, these frames are right there at the top of the list as far as ultra high-end Ray-Ban sunglasses. And I just absolutely love it. I'm really happy about this, and I hope they make more and more frames in Japan. And yeah, let me know what you think about these frames in the comment section down below. Do you own a pair? If you do, let me know what you think about them in the comment section down below. Did you have any idea these frames were made in Japan? I'm sure most of you probably did. And if you did, let me know in the comment section down below. But that's all I got for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give me a big thumbs up down below. And of course, make sure to hit the subscribe button and then to be notified every time I upload a brand new video just like this one to our YouTube channel. Again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.